2025 Sunset Rewind back at you again. Wow, Boomtown Rats up all night.
Not copying Jim Rome, but if there was ever an appropriate song for today's show, that was it.
Yeah, last night was what an adventure.
Battle of the Bay, Saturday,
Bay.
7:30 kickoff,
so
long
much
game.
Fun.
Then
so
I had
much
to
fun.
Run home and break it down, which was fine. But I'm on coffee number 3, and I'm still exhausted.
All right, then. We'll get into it in a second. But first, a word from our sponsor.
This podcast is brought to you by Arbor Real Estate, serving the coastal cities of Orange County, offering Southern California's most sought-after homes. Visit us today at arborrealestate.com.
All right, Coach. Going to start off with Huntington Beach this week.
Yeah, let's get into it. They were on the road at a La Habra team that a lot of experts in the industry had predicted would win the game, and early on, they were right. Huntington Beach is going to find themselves down 3-0, and with 4:26 to go in the first quarter, La Habra is going to extend their lead. DJ Mitchell on the 12-yard scramble is going to shake a couple of defenders, get to the end zone. So just like that, it's 10-0. La Habra, with only 4 minutes to go in the half, they'd completely dominated the game to this point in terms of time of possession, in terms of first down. But never fear, the man of steel is here. Steel Kurtz on the ensuing kickoff is going to go about 50 yards sideways, or laterally, I should say, and then gets around the edge, gets up into the end zone, and just like that, a game completely dominated by La Habra. It was a 10-7 ball game. So special teams, a big part of the game. That would make a difference. Now, defense, going to make some plays. Still Kurtz, you can do on special teams. He can do it on defense. Coming off the edge, bringing down Mitchell, the quarterback. So with 1:30 to go in this first half, Huntington Beach is going to get the ball back, down only 3. And then just a matter of time, Brady Edmonds would find Dylan Bruce on the far sideline, hits him in stride. Great throw, great catch. Runs by the defender with 28 seconds left to go in the half. So a game completely dominated by La Habra. They find themselves trailing 14-10 at half. In the third quarter, Huntington Beach is going to come out. They're going to keep the pressure going. This time, it's the running back, Nate Samaritano, off tackle, up in there, kind of disappears, reappears, gets his team into the red zone, and from there, Edmonds would find his outstanding wide receiver, Troy Foster. Is going to shake one defender, break through another, gets into the end zone, so it's 21-10. Huntington Beach looking good. Now, Coach Hassett is going to dial up a little razzle-dazzle. Up 21-10 already in the third. Edmonds to the man of steel. To Foster down the sideline. You can't let that guy go uncovered. I don't care that it is a trick play. 28-10, Huntington Beach looking good. Now they're starting to pull away. However, La Habra would not let them. Mitchell is going to drop back. He's going to look for Blake Rogers on the skinny post. Hits it. So just when you think Huntington Beach is ready to wrap this one up, La Habra wouldn't go away. They're just hanging around. But not for long. Edmonds to Bruce on a quick slant. Again, doesn't break stride. Just hits him perfectly. Uses that breakaway speed. And now in the 46-yard touchdown pass, it's 35-17. You got to think Huntington Beach is going to pull away. The defense is fired up. And here's the reason why. Caden Clark off the edge. Gets the sack. And so now up 35-17, Huntington Beach would get the ball back. However, they couldn't do anything with it. So La Habra would have another opportunity. They take advantage. Mitchell is going to look for Bryce Vasquez, who shakes the defender. He falls down. So late in the third, it's 35-24. Still anybody's ball game. Now we're into the fourth. La Habra gets the ball back. Bobby Brooks gets the outside, gets into the end zone. So 7:31, it's 35-30. They'd go for 2. They wouldn't get it. So now, Huntington Beach has got to make a play on defense. They couldn't score on offense or get first down. So La Habra gets the ball back. But Owen Bone and Johnny Yardrick are going to combine to get the sack. It was 3rd and 10. Great play late in the game. The defense had been on the field all night long. So it's 4th down and forever. La Habra doesn't have many options, but they would have an opportunity. Mitchell on 4th and forever is going to go back, go for broke. He's got a man open, hits him in the worst spot, the hands, drops it. La Habra could have gotten a score with 2:50 left, but they couldn't. Just like the movie Best of Times, Huntington Beach would get the ball back, run the clock out, and improve going to 6-1, 2-0 in league, and closing in on a possible showdown with Crean. But they still got another game to go. But what a game.
Best of times. First of all, what was with the film and players disappearing at the 50 and reappearing? That was awesome.
Yeah, that's a
Did
huddle
you see
thing.
that?
No. I wrote in my notes to front load that the players would be disappearing.
I saw that at first. I was like, whoa, that's kind of cool. I'm like,
we're not hallucinating.
I was like, wait a second. Oh, dude, Oilers get it done again. Owen Bone, that's King Owen Bone.
King Owen Bone, I like that.
Because he's the homecoming king. Steele Kurtz, oh my goodness. I mean, we know how talented this guy is offensively and defensively. He's the backup quarterback, correct? If there ever was
If there was no Edmonds there,
right.
he would have been their guy.
You see that pass he threw? Dude.
On the money.
On the money. And this was a huge victory for the Oilers because this was kind of like, I was looking at this game. We're going to know who the real Huntington Beach is after this game. If they can hang with La Habra and beat La Habra, and they did. And boy, well-oiled machine, Huntington Beach Oilers. Great job.
Taryn, thoughts?
Yeah, this was a very big statement win for Huntington Beach. Going on the road, being a good quality opponent such as La Habra, that's not an easy team to defeat. And man, if there was ever a play that La Habra wanted back, it was that one. But you got to give credit to the Oilers for just hanging in there. Got to make sure that they tighten things up, but that's kind of the beauty of this win. They didn't play their best. I mean, they were up by a sizable amount, let La Habra back in, but La Habra just couldn't finish the job. But now, as you said, Huntington Beach is closing in on a possible showdown with Crean Lutheran, but they got to get past Foothill, got to get past an improved El Dorado team. Let's see what they could do going forward.
Yeah, I thought their offense stayed hot. Their defense, the special teams have stayed hot, making big plays all season long. I thought the defense was getting gassed, but at the end, when they needed to make the plays, they found a way. La Habra actually had a great game plan. They controlled that whole first half in terms of time of possession, in terms of first downs. And the best way to slow down that Huntington offense is to keep them off the field.
Right.
And they were watching the game kind of like we were listening to it. By the way, shout out Dominic Lorenz.
Oh, he
did
was
a great job. I love listening.
Fantastic broadcast, as always.
Yeah, so bottom line is they found a way. They made the plays when they had to, and so they improved to 2-0. And, Foothill is a game they should win, but they should have won the Tribuco game. And I don't want to keep harping on that, but lessons learned, use that to apply to next week.
Potentially one of the best things that could have happened to them in the season so far. All right, let's see how Marina did this week.
All right, Marina was at home. They were hosting Valencia, looking to get off the schneid after that tough loss against Sunny Hills last week, who lost, by the way, so we'll get into that in the fan zone, the implications. Early on, Francis Samperito is going to hit Gunnar Mikkelsen. Boom, trucking defenders. He's a big boy, so kind of sets the tone early on from there. Samperito again, don't lose that tight end. He's going to fake, he's going to run it, hits Mikkelsen for a 7-0 lead in the first quarter. Marina would get the ball back this time. The line would shine. Ben Ramos, nobody really even touches him, just going up the gut for 15 yards and then continue to pound that rock. The drive would continue into the second quarter. This time Francis is going to read that end, and if he's going to bite on the play action, he's just going to pull it, and that's free money, showing off his running back skills. Remember, he used to be a running back. Just runs by that defender, making him look silly. So second quarter, 14-0. Marina's looking good. Now, defense. Alberto Herrera and 12-gauge Rinaldi. Did I just skip that play? I did. Sorry, guys. We will show that again. Are going to combine to get a sack. Keeping the pressure on Valencia all night long. They really couldn't get anything going on offense. So with the defense playing the way they were, the Marina offense would get the ball back. This time, Francis Samperito would find Ryder Wells for a 20-yard pickup. Doing a good job of distributing that ball to other receivers. I haven't called Honeycutt's name, surprisingly, yet. So this drive would continue. And again, this is not a replay from a few plays ago. Going to read that end. And if it works once, why not do it again? He's going to pull it. I mean, the same play. This is not a replay. Hops into the end zone. So at halftime, 21-0. Marina's looking good. In the third quarter, they would continue to dominate. This time, Ben Ramos, 22 yards up the middle, not even getting touched on the inside play until the secondary is finally able to bring him down. And then more Ben Ramos, this time from 60 yards out. Yeah, nobody's touching him. just bullies his way into the end zone. 28-0, third quarter. Looking good for Marina. They'd finally put it away. This time, Lucas Delgado. Again, they're just trying to run out clock. He's going to take this one 40 yards. Showing a little depth at the running back position. Nice speed, nice breakaway. So, Marina just kind of clocked in, clocked out. Nothing exciting, just methodical, doing what they needed to do. They'd go on to win this game 35-7 and get a big win as they're closing in on a possible league showdown against Beckman.
Man, it must be nice to be at Marina. We graduate our quarterback, Garrett Honeycutt. We'll just convert our running back, Francis Saporito, to quarterback. And now we have a void at running back, but we got Ben Ramos and Lucas Delgado there. Must be nice, Coach T, right? And man, they put together a great game plan. Gunnar Mickelson being back is huge. That's going to be a huge story moving forward for the Vikings. Remember, Gunnar had a hamstring issue, I believe it was. I mean, going all the way back to May, I remember being at the Spring Passing League tournament in Cyprus, talking with his mom there, and he was not healthy then, but he's back. He is going to be a huge difference maker for the Vikings. Trust me, this guy is a dude. So great job, Vikings. Saporito on the RPO. Man, he understands that offense. Impressive. Great job, Vikings.
Taryn?
Yeah, Marina needed this one in the worst way just because it pretty much gets tougher from here on out. Fullerton's improved. You got Kennedy and Beckman, so it's not just Beckman that could be a possible showdown. I think they've still got a little ways to go in terms of getting to Beckman, but honestly, this was a very impressive win for them. They needed a bounce-back win, and they got it. The line just looks like they're shining, and their offense, defense just have been clicking on all cylinders. So I think for Marina, they're back on track, but they got to keep it going against Fullerton, then Kennedy, then Beckman, like I mentioned.
The good news for Marina is they control their own destiny now. Because if they can win out, and now Sunny Hills has that loss, they would theoretically beat Beckman, and you might have a three-way tie for first. Again, a lot of things have to happen, and they need to worry about next week's opponent, which I believe is Fullerton.
Yes.
We can project. They can't. They need to worry about their next opponent. But they're back in control. That's the key. And so we'll see what happens. Stay tuned, but a good win for them.
All right, do I even need to introduce this next game?
Battle of the Bay, man. Woo! A lot of chatter online.
Whoa.
A lot of emotions. I want to thank the Danoons again for hosting us before
thank
that
you.
game.
To the Danoon family.
Yeah, good times. Habra came out with the old Popeye helmets, which was really cool.
We'll show you what those look like on the fan zone.
Yeah. Let's just get into this. Fired up early on, CDM was in control. Chase Kuchera, the back's going to take it 26 yards up the gut. CDM would strike first, taking an early 7-0 lead. The offense was... Oh, we got to show the crowd. Come on, this is Battle of the Bay. A little extended coverage here. By the way, 8,000 strong. Now, they were doing great on offense. They were doing just as well as on defense. Cash, Pearsall coming off the edge, creeping. Gonna make a play in the backfield, just getting it done on both sides of the ball. They get, and that's how actually the first quarter ends, 7-0. All right, the CDM offense on their second drive, Brady Annette to Garrett James, down the middle, free money, 14-0. Looks like CDM might be pulling away with this one. However, Harbor would respond. Jordan Spiginelli filling in for Jake Muir, who was injured. It's going to do a good job getting outside the pocket. It's going to tuck that ball up. Takes a shot. It shows he's a tough guy. Bounces up. And on the very next play, he's going to pull it and get his team into the end zone. They'd missed the PAT, but it's a one-possession ball game. It's 14-6. And that's how it would end at half. But look at the visitor side. Good credit, OCC. All right, let's pick it up in the third quarter. Brady Nett's going to come out firing. Garrett James brings it in. It's going to get them set up near the red zone. Annette's going to probably make his only mistake of the night. It's third down. I know you want it, but you can't do this. He's going to try to extend the play by fumbling, by throwing it back to the lineman. Trevor Glenn would pick up the fumble. So again, CDM's in control, but this is a one-possession ball game. So Harbor's going to try to make a big play after a turnover. I get it. But Cash Money, Pearsall, high points it, gets the interception, gets the ball back. They couldn't do anything with it, but the defense continued to apply pressure. Alexander Nicken on the B-gap blitz. They're going to bring 5 against 2x2. And so now that would get the ball back to the offense. No scoring in the third quarter. But in the fourth, 2nd and 10, Habra's got to make a play. They would. Oh, and Baldanowski, arm under move. It's going to bring down a net, sets up a 3rd and 20, which is a great down for defense unless you're playing against the net, because this is all he does time after time. On 3rd and 20, he gets 26. Just a heartbreaker for Habra. The drive would continue, and then Chase Kuchera would get touchdown number 2 from 4 yards out. Now they go up 21-6. They're starting to close in. They can feel it late in the game. And then Alexander Nicken and Scott Anderson. Habra had to become one-dimensional. Scott gets tackled there. Come on, Scott, get up. Play's not over. Let's go. Would combine to get the sack. He'd fumble it, but it didn't matter because it was 4th down. So now CDM could just run it out. Habra would get it one last time. This is the last play of the game. Spigarelli looking. He's going to trip up over his own offensive lineman. And after the announcer said about 10 times, do not go on the field after the game. Sorry, buddy. This is Battle of the Bay. You ain't stopping this flash mob. And, yeah, that pretty much says it all. CDM breaks a 2-game losing streak in Battle of the Bay. Congratulations to those players, the coaches. And what a game. 21-6 was the final.
The atmosphere there on the sideline. Talked to Tom Telesco. Sunset Rewind's Theo Rocos was there. Talked with him. Great guy. Mr. Weir, all sorts of people there. You know, of course, the Newport Harbor, Danoons. What an atmosphere. What a game. If you weren't there last night, where were you? Amazing.
Japan, Tommy Tar. He was
Yeah.
listening to Tar TV with Taryn.
Got to start with Habra. Jordan Spigarelli, got to give him a lot of credit, you know, coming into a tough rivalry game like that. Pretty much, I believe his first start at Habra, correct, Taryn?
Correct.
And also, heart goes out to Jake Muir. Obviously, he was injured, could not play, and we know how much that game means to the community of Newport Beach. So, Jake, get well soon. At the end of the day, though, the CDM defense just really stepped up. Things at CDM have become almost automatic now. Garrett James is automatic. You throw the ball in his zip code, he's going to catch it. Kuchera, steady running back, gets positive yards every time you give him the ball. And then Pearsall on D. When you have a guy who can make tackles from a defensive back position, you can, you know, play games and run, you know, blitzes with a guy like that or whatever you want to do. That's just such an added weapon to have and just helps you so much on defense. So congratulations to the Sailors for showing up and putting on a good show, but ultimately the Sea Kings took the trophy back, and it will stay on that side of the harbor for at least another year.
Taryn?
Yeah, Corona Del Mar really performed well defensively. As Jeff Bailey once told me, this felt like one of those old school Big Ten football games, and this was basically that old school Big Ten football game. Defenses had to make big plays and had to grind this one out. There was not a lot of scoring. I give a lot of credit to Corona Del Mar. The 21 points are actually the lowest or fewest that they've scored this season, but the 6 points are actually the lowest that Newport Harbor has scored this season. So a lot of credit goes to Corona Del Mar for basically having a great defensive masterclass. Chase Kuchera ran the ball effectively. And I even said sometimes 14 points, 21 points might actually be enough, because when it comes to a game like that and points are tough to come by,
I can't see it.
it basically means that you're going to need to take what you can get. Newport Harbor, unfortunately, it's just another tough loss for them. And I can only imagine what those boys are thinking. Hopefully, for their sake, they're not too demotivated. They just have to move on, flush it, move on to San Juan Hills, and so on and so forth.
All right. Thank you very much, Taryn.
Let me just say a couple things. You can't score 6 points and expect to win a game like that. I thought the Harbor defense played well enough to win, but the CDM defense was lights out. I mean, once again, I feel like the CDM defense overshadowed the offense. And the offense was fine, but the defense. So they had 7 sacks in that game. And just out of curiosity, I Googled everybody thinks the 85 Bears were the greatest defense ever. And in the Super Bowl 20, they had 7 sacks, the same amount that CDM had in that game. I didn't realize they had that many sacks. But, the interceptions.
Yeah.
The
Me
sacks,
neither.
Yeah, it was crazy. I could have made a whole highlight reel on the sacks. But bottom line is, for Harbor, if you win your last 3 games, which is no easy task, you will at least finish third and you'll be in the playoffs. So their playoffs basically start this week. It's that simple. If you win all 3, you're in. If you don't, then you're, good luck.
You're putting your fate in the hands of the committee.
And for CDM, you're in a league title race right now. Go out to Villa Park, take care of business. You got to get over this win. The euphoria of it, I get it, but you got to put it away. And it's a short week, so congrats to CDM.
The bye week
CDM's
is over.
Yep.
And now a word from our sponsors.
This podcast is brought to you by Arbor Real Estate, serving the coastal cities of Orange County, offering Southern California's most sought-after homes. Visit us today at arborrealestate.com.
The bye week's over for everyone, and we almost have to approach this like you got to be getting into playoff mode right now. If you're not going to be prepared. Some good football be played in the Sunset League, so
CDM's the
keep it
lone
going.
undefeated Bravo League team, by the way.
that's awesome. Good for them. They're playing some impressive football. Well, gentlemen, anything else? Any thoughts on the week? The week 8, Game 7 games are in the books.
Fountain Valley?
Didn't get the film. They lost. They were at Laguna Beach, who I think is undefeated still. I have to check the record. But
Yeah, they were home
yes.
against Laguna Beach.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
dropped like 50. They scored some points late, but again, if I don't get the film, I can't show. And I get it. It's maybe they just don't want to show it, and I understand. But didn't get the film. But they got 3 more games, and we'll see what happens.
All right, then. That'll do it for another week of Sunset Rewind. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers this year. Also follow us on Instagram, X, and TikTok. And be sure to go to sunsetrewind.com. Everything Sunset League related is on there in Sunset Rewind teams. Hey, we love reading your comments. Leave any questions or comments you have in the comment section on FanZone or the review show. Taryn Rodriguez, thank you very much. The best reporter in the business. James Krupe, director and producer extraordinaire. And, of course, Coach Mo Padios, the best in the business at breaking down film. We will be back next week with some more exciting Sunset Rewind football games for you. In the meantime, take care, everyone. Be nice to one another. Have a great day, and God bless.